Arsenal's new game plan is straight up terrifying. The Gunners have cracked the code on turning dead ball chances into guaranteed goals, and it's got the football community in mad hysteria. But can it really take them all the way to that Premier League title we've been pining for? Let's break it down, and don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button while you're there. Just when it seems like they were in crisis mode at the beginning of the season, Arsenal's corner routine has been a game changer lately, and nowhere was that more evident than in their match against Manchester United in game week 14. 2 in-swinging corners, one to the front post and one to the back, completely dismantled United's defence, taking Arsenal's tally to 41 Premier League goals from corners since the summer of 2021. That's 7 more than any other team. Here's the wild part. In this game, Arsenal took more shots from corners than they did in open play. We're talking 7-6. They scored 2, had one cleared off the line, and came agonisingly close on a few more occasions. It's no wonder people are saying Arsenal's corners are as good as penalties. One fan on X summed it up perfectly. Corners have never been a problem in football. Until Arsenal started seeing it as a penalty. You don't hate corner kicks, you just hate Arsenal. Another tweet put it this way: I celebrate Arsenal corners like they are penalties. And honestly, why wouldn't they? Since the start of the 23-24 season, Arsenal have scored more goals from corners than any team in Europe's top 5 leagues. According to Opta stats, their 22 corner goals put them 5 clear of the next best team, Bayer Leverkusen. Borussia Mönchengladbach is tied with Leverkusen on 17, while AC Milan has 16, and Man City trails behind on 15. And it's not just corners. Arsenal's set-piece game as a whole is on another level. If you include all set-piece goals, their total jumps to an impressive 30. Leading the charge in this department are Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka, who have both picked up 7 set-piece assists each. No other player in the Premier League has matched that number. To put it in perspective, those 30 set-piece goals make up over a quarter of Arsenal's 119 league goals since the summer of 2021. 91 of them came last season, with 28 as of game week 14 this season. When asked about Arsenal's dominance from corners, Mikel Arteta didn't shy away from setting the bar high. This was his reply: we want to be the kings of everything. At set pieces, the best in the world. At high press, the best in the world. Attacking open spaces, the best in the world. Arsenal has one man to thank for their set-piece revolution. He deserves a massive shout-out: Nicolas Jover. Although set-piece coaches are finally getting their time in the spotlight in the Premier League, with cameras often cutting to them on the bench whenever a team lines up for a corner or free kick, the undisputed king of them all is no one but Jover. He joined Arsenal in the summer of 21, reuniting with Arteta after their time together at Man City under Pep Guardiola. The transformation has been staggering. Before his arrival, Arsenal ranked 18th in the Premier League for set-piece goals, outscoring only Fulham and Sheffield United. Now, they're setting the standard across Europe. Interestingly, it was Arteta who first pushed for Jover to join City back in 2019, when he was Guardiola's assistant. His set-piece philosophy was shaped by his time at the University of Sherbrooke, where he was influenced by NFL-style playbooks and developed his first routines from their football team. His expertise caught the attention of England manager Gareth Southgate, who sent assistants to learn from Jover's methods ahead of the 2018 World Cup. The result was England becoming corner specialists, scoring 4 goals directly from corners during their run to the semi-finals. Not everyone is a fan of Jover though. Man United legend Gary Neville recently called him the most annoying bloke in football. But let's be real, it's not strange seeing the legend of a rival team whining about your club's achievement. But Arsenal fans couldn't care less. One fan summed it up perfectly on X: the first set-piece coach in history to have half the country on string. Nicolas Jover, hero. But if there's one player who's thriving under Jover's set-piece magic, it's Gabriel Magalhaes. Arsenal's €26 million signing from Lille in 2020 is turning out to be one of the Premier League's best bargains in recent memory. The Brazilian has developed into a cornerstone of Arsenal's defence, forming an exceptional partnership with William Saliba. His aggressive front-foot approach perfectly complements Saliba's calm and composed style, making them one of the most balanced centre-back duos in world football. But Gabriel isn't just a defensive powerhouse. He's a menace in the opposition penalty box too. His ability to time his runs and dominate in the air has made him a nightmare for defenders. He has been Arsenal's go-to man for corners, contributing 5 of their 22 goals from such situations this season. No other Arsenal player has scored more than 1, except for William Saliba, who has 2. In fact, Gabriel's 5 goals make him the top scorer from corners in the entire Premier League this season. And some of those headers have been quite crucial too, like his goal against Tottenham in the North London derby. What's even more remarkable is the consistency of his finishing. All of the goals have come from headers, and all but one have been delivered by Bukayo Saka's left boot. To put into perspective how impressive he is in the set-piece department, according to Opta, he has scored 16 Premier League goals, and an incredible 88% of them, which is 14 goals, have come from corners. That's the highest ratio of corner goals for any player, with 10-plus goals in Premier League history. Gabriel's impact at both ends of the pitch is undeniable, and his set-piece prowess has turned him into a cult hero amongst Arsenal fans. As one ex-user brilliantly put it, Gabriel is literally Messi for corners. Unstoppable. And how does he compare to other Premier League centre-backs? Quite simply, he is in a league of his own. Over the past 3 seasons, no centre-back has scored more goals in the Premier League than his 15. The nearest challenger, Virgil van Dijk, has managed just 9 in that time. Gabriel's goals per game ratio of 0.12 in the Premier League puts him in his own space among centre-backs with 100-plus appearances. Only Thomas Vermaelen and Frank Leboeuf can match that figure. Even John Terry, the all-time top-scoring centre-back in Premier League history, with 41 goals, lags behind with a 0.08 goal per game ratio. And at just 26 years old, he has already climbed to 17th on the all-time list of goal-scoring centre-backs in the league. And who's to say he can't climb higher on the list, seeing how precise Saka's crosses from those corners are? So how exactly do Arsenal execute their deadly corner routines? Let's break it down. But before we dive in, let's handle some business. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Done? Great. Now, let's get back to what make corners at the Emirates so special. It all starts with the delivery. Arsenal's corners are almost always in-swingers. Saka takes them from the right, and Declan Rice steps up on the left. Both are exceptional dead ball specialists, delivering crosses with pace and just the right amount of dip. The trajectory of their crosses is designed to make life miserable for defenders and goalkeepers alike. Too close to the keeper, and it's a punching nightmare. Too far out, and it's a free-for-all for Arsenal's aerial threats. Then there's the movement. Arsenal typically begin with a cluster of players at the back post. It looks chaotic, but it's all part of the plan. As the corner is taken, that group bursts into central areas, creating a flurry of movement that defenders struggle to track. Here's where the defensive dilemma comes in. Opponents have 2 choices. Number 1 is man marking. This means trying to follow Arsenal players into the box. But with so many runners and so much movement, it's easy to lose your man. Opponents could use zonal marking. This approach focuses on guarding specific areas rather than players. But the problem here is, Arsenal's runners exploit the gaps left between zones, often with devastating results. Once Arsenal's runners move centrally, the chaos begins. Their approach is simple but highly effective. Crowd the 6-yard box. Arsenal pack this area with more players than any other Premier League team, the average of 3.8 bodies per corner. Naturally, the opposition is forced to follow suit, cramming their own 6-yard box with defenders to mark Arsenal's players. This crowd creates absolute havoc for starters. It severely limits the goalkeeper's ability to come out and punch the ball. Defenders, too, struggle to get a clear run at the ball, often finding themselves jostling for a position amid the massive bodies. In all the confusion, Arsenal thrives, turning the packed 6-yard box into a battleground where they hold the upper hand. With the stage set, it's time for Arsenal's not-so-secret weapon to step up. Gabriel Magalhaes. He's the primary target for almost every corner, and he's given the freedom to shift his starting position. This allows him to build up momentum, giving him an edge in aerial duels. The rest of Arsenal's players play their part too, but not in the way you'd expect. They're less about scoring and more about creating space for him. Acting as decoys and blockers, their job is to draw defenders away or obstruct their movement, isolating Gabriel so he can attack the ball unchallenged. Not everyone is a fan of Arsenal's success with set pieces. After Arsenal's win over Man United, Dimitar Berbatov couldn't resist taking a jab at their style. The former United striker compared Arsenal to Tony Pulis' Stoke City, a team known for their direct and physical approach to set pieces. He said this: "The Premier League is probably the only league where you see so many players crowding the goalkeeper, pushing, shoving and causing chaos. Normally that would be a foul. Not here. You need to be strong." That's probably why their coach was thinking, "What's happening to my keeper? You have to work on that." As we joke, Arsenal is the new Stoke City, depending on set pieces to win games just like today. His comment about Arsenal being the new Stoke City has quickly caught on, especially on football Twitter. Fans have been poking fun at Arsenal, with one tweet saying, "Mikel Arteta betraying Arsene Wenger's football philosophy." and turning Arsenal into Stoke City, only to bottle the league, is just mad disrespectful. Another joked, Arsenal's playing like prime Stoke City with these corners. As for some folks, Arsenal has become a team that relies too much on corners. One ex-user summed it up like this: "It's nothing new. We conceded 2 corners to a team that only scores from corners. I'll take it. Phase 9 Arteta can outplay Game 4 Amrim without the corner glitch. They might as well sack Arteta and just keep the set-piece coach at this point." So what do you think? Is the comparison to Stoke City fair? Is Arsenal really just a corner team? Share your thoughts in the comments. For Arsenal fans though, all this criticism probably doesn't matter. As long as the other team keeps struggling to stop their corners, why worry? But it looks like someone might have finally found a way to deal with Arsenal's corner dominance. And guess who it is? An old Arsenal nemesis, Didier Drogba. The Ivorian, who famously tormented Arsenal with 13 goals during his career, has weighed in on how to handle their devastating corner routines. Responding to an Instagram post about Arsenal set pieces, Drogba shared some tactical advice that could help teams deal with the Gunners' threat. He wrote, "Put someone in front of the corner taker 10 meters away and tell him to jump so the corner taker won't be able to deliver a good ball. Then you ask your goalkeeper to take all the sloppy balls and ask your defenders to protect him." Despite Drogba's advice, no Premier League team has tried his suggested tactic to counter Arsenal's corners, and it's not difficult to see why. It's a high-risk strategy that could disrupt defensive structure if poorly executed. And there you have it. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have changed the game with their deadly set-piece routines. There's no doubt it feels good to be a Gunner fan right now. But what do you think? Can Arsenal keep this up to the end of the season? Or is it just a matter of time before other teams figure out how to stop them? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got more great content coming your way, including juicy content in our next video. Go ahead, click on it, and we'll see you there.